Hey everybody, we are here today and we have a really fun interview that we're going to do. We're at Living Vitalitea, which is a local Orlando kombucha brewer. So come on in, we're going to introduce you guys to the maker who makes all this awesome stuff. Come this way. Hey!
Hi.
And this is Daniel. He is the owner and entrepreneur and starter of Living Vitalitea Kombucha. So we're here and he's going to give us a tour of the whole place, show us about the process of making kombucha, and he's already sipping on some, so I think I'll get myself a little sip if I can as well. I think we've got some on tap back here.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what you've got on tap and then we'll get into the process and tell me more about how you got started once I get something to drink.
We have 4 flavors on tap right now, and I like to keep some interesting flavors here in the brewery. The first one is a Inca Kola, which is our take on a popular Peruvian soft drink, but it's made with turmeric, vanilla, and lemon verbena.
Sounds super healthy.
The second one is a watermelon cucumber with bitins, or also known as Spanish needle, which is a weed that grows everywhere.
Which I think is a little weed that I used to pick for my mom when I was a little girl. I remember this is like, you guys probably see these in your yard all the time, but who knew that these were like actually good for you?
It's actually very good for you. It's medicinal. It's good to boost your immune system. It fights the flu virus. And it actually is very cooling, so it goes well with cucumber and watermelon.
It's probably awesome for the summer too. And that's when those flowers come out. I think that's the one that I'll have.
Sounds good.
Yeah. That sounds awesome. So, we're just going to walk through, and for you, those of you who maybe never tried kombucha, or if you've never maybe even heard of it, it is basically a fermented tea that apparently our toddler's pretty into. Is it good? Whoa! If he can drink it, you can enjoy it too. I'm going to take a sip of this.
You can really taste it.
It's actually super good. Yeah, I really like that. So, okay, let's go walk in here. First of all, you can see, I guess, these are some of the flavors that you guys offer, but
that's right.
Tell us a little bit about, first of all, what got you into making kombucha in the first place?
So about 7 years ago, I was sitting at my desk job, and a co-worker brought in his homebrew, and that was my first sip of kombucha. A couple weeks later, I started brewing my own kombucha, and I started doing it on a weekly basis. And I shared it with everybody, my coworkers, my friends, my family, and I taught as many people as possible how to brew. Then I started experimenting with it. In the meantime, I started losing weight.
Wow.
I felt healthier. I got a lot more energy, and I stopped getting sick. So this was about a 6 to 9 month process.
Yeah.
So I fell in love with the product, and then a year later I realized that this is what I wanted to do for a living.
That is so awesome. So can you show us a little bit inside with the process that you've got? I'm just going to sit you down for just a second.
Come on in.
Put this over here. Well, I love that health benefits is what gave you your start. You want to get in front of us over here? Oh, okay. I'll take this. I'm going to take over that since our toddler's running around now. So since it was the health benefits that really got you into it, which I know that's what started me on my health journey too.
That's right.
I just want to have everybody know a little bit about what are some of the health benefits, and then also we want to show you guys the whole process for brewing, because it is pretty cool.
Yeah,
whenever you see it. So okay, let me see. I'm gonna go over here. So tell me, tell us a little bit more about like some of the health benefits that you know about whenever like you mentioned, like weight loss and things like that. Is it just from the gut health aspect of it, or?
It is. Actually, kombucha is a fermented tea, so it's a fermented food, which is a probiotic. So it's good for digestion.
Right.
It also helps to detox the liver, so it cleans your body out. And it's very high in antioxidants, so it boosts your immune system. Awesome. Gives you energy and keeps your body young.
Yes, that is one major thing. Like whenever, especially because I'm pregnant, and so I enjoy whenever I need a kick. I'm not able to have something with like a lot of caffeine, but there is just this, you'll get like a boost and a little kick from the kombucha, from all the good stuff that's in it. So I'm able to enjoy kombucha too, and all the health benefits as well. So let me see here.
Here we are in our brewery.
Yes, you can see. You do a spin around here. We've got a bunch of cool stuff to talk about. So, Daniel, I actually make my own kombucha at home,
Very nice.
but I also do get, keep you in the frame here. I also do get too busy sometimes to make it on my own, so I'm still buying it by the bottle as well.
Right.
But the process is super cool, so I do know a little bit about it, but I don't know about it on a big scale like this.
So basically, on a big scale, is just we recreated what we do at home, but we made it in a larger scale. So we just multiplied everything times probably 100 or so.
Okay, awesome.
So each one of these batches, imagine you're brewing a 1 gallon batch. Well, these are 160 gallon batches.
160 gallons per thing?
Per each
Oh
one
my
of
gosh,
these fermenters.
that's amazing. Yeah, because I have like a gallon size right now on my countertop that's just pretty much 75% scobies.
That's right.
And it just keeps multiplying. But that's a lot of kombucha. So first of all, you guys start with
We basically start with just brewing tea.
okay.
But we brew it in large tea bags. We have some over here I can show
Okay,
you.
awesome.
These are very large tea bags that I sewed myself actually.
Nice.
And we have a drawstring. We put the tea in here.
And what kind of tea is it?
We use organic green tea.
Okay,
Organic
that's what I
gunpowder
use
green
too.
tea.
Yeah.
But we
Perfect.
blend that with homegrown lemongrass.
Awesome.
So we are able to get our own twist on a green tea flavor with our lemongrass.
Cool. So you start with the tea.
We put the tea in here.
Okay.
And we put it inside of this steeper, basically, and we boil about 6 or 7 gallons of water
Okay.
with the lemongrass.
Right.
And then we just fill this up and we let it steep for about 30 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then once you've got your tea, then you have to add the sugar because
Then we add
that
the
is
sugar.
what the SCOBY, which we get to show you guys a really humongous, enormous SCOBY, and we'll talk about what that is too and what that stands for. But the SCOBY actually feeds on the sugar, right?
Feeds on the sugar,
what does,
yeah.
and that's what does the fermenting of the tea.
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
So the SCOBY is bacteria and yeast. So the yeast eats the sugar, converts it into alcohol and CO2, and then the bacteria takes the alcohol and converts that into organic acids. And that's where you get that nice tart flavor
Like
of
the bite that comes with it.
And the bite.
Yeah, because it has sort of like a tangy. I mean, it tastes if you've had other fermented things like beer. I mean, it has kind of a similar kick to it at the end.
There are some sour beers, and what they do is they allow some bacteria to ferment some of that alcohol and turn it a little sour.
Right.
And that's basically what we're doing with kombucha. Is it's completely aerobic fermentation, so the yeast and the bacteria come from the environment.
Okay, awesome. And SCOBY stands for, I think I've got this right. You didn't even tell me this one, but I think it's symbiotic colony of bacteria and yeast, right?
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
Some people call it a community because it's many different bacteria and yeasts.
Right.
So,
but it becomes this jellyfish-looking conglomerate, which come show us one so we can see what these guys look like because they are super interesting.
Here we have small fermenters. They're about half the size of this big one here.
Okay.
And this is where we keep our starter.
And the starter is pretty much just the SCOBY in the tea with no flavors or anything, right? Like
no additional flavors. It just has green tea, basically.
Okay, awesome. And so these guys, how thick is this down here? Because if you were to lift this up, which I have mine at home, and it's in a glass jar, so you can see the layers.
Yeah.
But it's like a big pancake kind of looking jellyfish type thing.
Every time you brew a new batch, it grows a new layer.
Right.
It grows thicker and thicker. But what we like to do is we keep it clean, so we only let a couple layers grow at a time.
Oh, okay.
And then we take out the
So the layers don't go all the way
It
down
doesn't go
here.
all the way down. It'd be hard to clean it.
Yeah.
So we
Okay.
clean it every month to 2 months or so. We take out some of the old SCOBY and we just leave the top white, nice, shiny one on the top.
Right. Cool.
Because there's a lot of yeast that collects on the bottom, so we like to clean that out.
Okay. So that guy, who's called a SCOBY, not a Scooby, as my mom might call it. My mom makes kombucha all the time. She has hers constantly going, but so she can never remember the name of it, but it's a SCOBY. This guy is what is responsible for making all this. So with things like this, or kefir, where you have your kefir grains, there's always like a starter. It's sort of, you can think of it sort of like yogurt or even brewing with beer, like you have to have yeast or something.
Or sourdough bread, you always keep a little bit of that starter.
Yeah, the sourdough bread, that's a really good thing, because some people think this is super weird, but it's like you have to have something to start the process, and that's what has the living organisms in it that does all the fermenting.
That's right.
Cool. So, okay, once you've got it in here with your starter, then what's the next step from there?
So, once we have the starter, let's say this one we're brewing today, we're going to add the sweet tea to it, the tea that we just brewed with the sugar. We're going to add a lot of water to it, and then we're going to add a certain amount of the starter to it.
Okay.
Then we're going to mix the whole thing. We're going to mix it for about 15 minutes, make sure everything is just one consistent kombucha brew. Okay. And then we fill it to about here, which is about 160 gallons.
Wow.
And then we put this cover on it.
Right, to keep, so if you ever do any fermenting of anything at home, like I actually have some fermented pickles I just finished, but anything that you're fermenting, you have to put some kind of lid on because it attracts like little fruit flies and whatever, just to keep it clean.
Yeah, but we also want to keep it able to breathe, because it is an aerobic fermentation, so it does need oxygen, it needs the air, and actually the yeast is from the environment itself, so it does need to have fresh air introduced.
Gotcha. So you guys have how many flavors going right now? And
this is all actually one flavor. We do our different flavors after it's done.
Oh, okay. So this is all just the batches, the number of batches that you have going at once.
Right.
So for the volume that you're going to be doing for any period of time, which it's how many weeks that you do for each fermenter?
It's about 3 weeks per batch.
Okay. Yeah. That's actually pretty long, because whenever I do mine at home, I think I usually do mine for like 2 weeks or so. Is it because it's like a bigger batch?
It's a bigger batch. Yeah. Every time we doubled in size, we had to add a week, basically.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. That's really cool. So if you're making yours at home and you've got a giant SCOBY, which maybe you do, maybe, I mean, I could actually probably have mine fermented in like just a week or so, because it's really about like kind of the ratios that you've got going on there. Okay, so that makes sense. So you've got these going, and then once you go from here and you've got the tea that's fermented but it's not flavored, what's the next process, and how do you guys even decide what flavors to do?
So we've tried so many different flavors. We have about 35 different recipes, but we stick to about 10 per week. We have 6 that we bottle on a weekly basis, and then an additional 5 to 6 that we like to give on tap.
Right.
And we try to stick with the seasons. So right now we have passion fruit, we have watermelon, we have cucumber. We just got out of strawberry season. And then we use a lot of herbs that we can keep dry, so that we can use that all year long.
Yeah. Okay.
But basically, we pump the kombucha from these fermenters into our 5-gallon kegs.
Okay.
And that's where we do all the flavoring.
Okay. So show us a little bit about the flavoring process. What you guys have going on with that.
So basically, in our kitchen here, put this out of the way. We have different things, different toys that we play with.
Cool.
One of them is an angel juicer. We use this to juice our turmeric and our ginger.
So it sounds like a lot of the ingredients that you guys use obviously aren't just for flavor, but also for the health benefits too. Yeah. That's
it's
really
got
cool.
Very distinct flavors. We like the bite of ginger. We like the earthiness of turmeric.
Yeah.
But it also has very, very medicinal, antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties.
That is awesome, and right up our alley.
That's right.
That's really cool. Okay.
We also use typical things like a blender. We just got this really cool immersion blender.
So what do you use that guy for?
So we just started.
A huge immersion blender.
A huge immersion blender. It almost looks
my
like
gosh.
a hammer.
Yeah, it does. It seriously does. That is not.
Our new favorite
you
toy.
can make some major mayonnaise with that, because that's like, you know, the little stick blenders that people make their mayo with. That's like jumbo size.
Yeah.
I mean,
what we do is we juice our watermelon with this.
Oh.
Before we would do it in a blender, and it was a nightmare.
Yeah, it'd probably take forever too.
It took forever. So now we put all of the watermelon in one bucket, and we just juice it right away with this.
That is super cool.
Takes, you know, maybe 5% of the time that we did before.
Wow.
So that's awesome.
That's really smart.
Yeah.
Whoever thought of that.
We have a citrus juicer. This is a small citrus juicer, but we do a lot of lemons and a lot of oranges, so we use this. Our blender, and we have a induction stovetop. that we...
So what kind of things are you cooking with, like just to get the...
What we do is we steep a lot of herbs.
Okay.
Using our induction cooktop. So we have like these big pans.
Cool.
And we have a lot of herbs. You know, we have cinnamon.
And those are all the things that you're infusing into
lavender,
the tea as well.
Exactly.
Okay.
Fennel. We've got tons of different things that we can experiment with.
Awesome.
Yeah. Spearmint. We use a lot of spearmint. We have, again, lavender.
You can see they've got lots of organic extracts and herbs and things up here. I'm just curious, what is this?
So this is condensed cane juice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
it's basically brown sugar, but before it's even processed, it's basically just cane juice. It's juiced and then it's evaporated.
So
it's got
is that
all the
what you
nutrients.
guys use for the fermenting rather than like granulated?
No, we use this for flavoring only.
Oh, flavoring. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. I've never seen it like that. That's pretty interesting. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, we've got lots of herbs and lots of fun concoctions. So do you guys just come up with these on the fly, or do you plan like flavors far ahead, or
we experiment.
What?
We experiment. I do a lot of research. I go online. I see, what is chai. What is that made out of? A lot of people buy the chai tea bags, but I like to blend my own herbs.
Right.
So that's what I do. We do some research and then we do some experimentation and some trial and error.
Okay.
And we figure out some different recipes.
So then once you've got the flavors and you've got the tea all infused, what is the process to get it to people? Because I know that you guys do bottles.
Yeah. And
you do on draft.
Yes.
So show us a little bit about like bottling and all that stuff.
Okay.
What do you guys do?
So once it's kegged, we put the flavor in the keg and then we fill it from the fermenters. We put it in the fridge to let it,
The fridge here.
Condition for 3 to 4 days. Or at least sometimes about a week.
That makes the flavors better, like
exactly. It assimilates better with the kombucha.
Right. It's kind of like when you have leftover spaghetti and it's way better 2 days later.
Right. Yeah. Or curry.
All the flavors
chili.
are like in the sauce. Yeah, exactly. Chili, that's a good one too. Very awesome.
So we do all the flavoring in the kegs, and then from the kegs we take it out of the cooler and we go to our bottling station.
Cool. So what is that?
So this is our bottling station. We just used it today, actually. This was a really cool purchase because we were bottling each one of these individually by hand.
Oh my
using
gosh.
a little bottle, like a straw filler.
Yeah.
And it was a nightmare to get the right consistent fill, and it was always foamy because it's carbonated. So we got this one, and it's a vacuum pressure, and it takes out all the foam, so it always fills to the exact same level.
Oh, that's awesome.
But it's still a manual process, so we take
you still put each
2
one
bottles
on there.
at a time. It starts to fill, and then we fill the next 2. And then when that's ready, it fills to a certain level.
Does it stop automatically?
It stops automatically.
That's handy.
So then we take it off, and we use our cappers with our bottle caps over here. And this, again, it's a manual process.
Right.
To go down and...
So you guys are like literally from start to finish hand making all these bottles with love.
We have our hands in every single one of these products. So you know that, it's made with our love and commitment.
Yes. Which obviously you guys can tell by the way that the whole process is, that it's just got a lot of care into the whole process. And for you to even care about this industry anyway, because I mean, the market of soft drinks and other drinks is huge, and kombucha, I'm sure, is just a tiny part of that, and it is growing.
It's a tiny growing part.
It is, as people find out more about it and about the health benefits of it and acquire a taste for it, it might be something that the first time you try it, you're not really sure about it. But once you get the taste for it, it's like, you crave it. I think I do.
I mean, for me, it wasn't love at first sip, but it took a couple sips, and then it took me brewing it myself and making my own flavors to really enjoy it.
Yeah, and definitely we encourage you guys to come and try some and taste some, but also to try to make it yourself at home.
That's right.
Because then you can get creative, and I would love to make mine all the time, but realistically I don't have time to make it all the time, so I'm still buying it by the bottle. But we're also going to get today in store the kegerators. We're going to have this on draft available at the pharmacy.
That's right.
So we're super excited about that. You guys, can you show us the fill up for that,
Sure.
or what that looks like? So the
it's not fully assembled, but it'll be tomorrow.
Yes.
Or today, rather.
So this will be in there, and it will have the refill station. Basically will have like just a large refill glass bottle, so it's super environmentally friendly. Because
right,
you can bring it in and get refills.
You bring your bottles in to get a refill. It's a growler system. We call it the Love Jug.
The Love Jug. So you pay a $2 core charge. Do you have a Love Jug?
Yeah, I can show you a Love Jug here.
Awesome. So you pay a $2 core charge for the Love Jug, and then every time you bring it in to fill this guy up, it's a $10 fill. And then you can just keep reusing this guy, which again is going green and all that stuff. Yep. So we'll have this at the pharmacy, and we're super excited about that. And that's actually what we're going to be giving away, one of these. So if you guys comment on the video, you'll get your first fill for free. We're going to do a drawing for that next week. So if you comment, we'll do the drawing, and you can hopefully win your first fill up from our growler station, which we're super happy about. Thank you,
and
Daniel,
let us know what flavors you like to see on top, because we'll be rotating them on a weekly or
right. However fast we move through the keg,
that's right,
we're going to be getting some new flavors in all the time, so we're excited about that. And we didn't discuss it beforehand, but are we going to be able to be doing a kombucha class next week? Because I know that we discussed it. So for those of you who are interested in home brewing, we don't have the exact date and times set in stone yet, but we're going to be releasing a class. Sign up for the class for your own at-home kombucha making.
That's right.
So Daniel's going to be hosting and teaching, so we're super happy about that. Thank you for offering to do it. And because we, again, like, not only want to show you guys about buying a finished product, but want you to be able to get your hands into it too, to learn a little bit more about it. So we're super excited to be able to host that class at the pharmacy. So stay tuned. We'll have the Facebook event posted the next day or so. We'll talk after this and set the date or the time and whatnot. So hope you guys.
If you cannot wait to for the class to brew kombucha, I have instructions on my website.
Oh, awesome!
Brew at home.
Yes. What is the website?
Is livingkombucha.com. Living kombucha.com.
And the name again is Living Vitality. So if you go to livingkombucha.com, you can find the instructions on there. And whenever we have our class, we'll have little kits, and you can get your own SCOBY and all that fun stuff to take home. I have a bunch of SCOBYs I need to release out into the world. So hopefully I'll get to have a few that you guys can take. And then what's cool is that the SCOBYs actually multiply, and then you can keep spreading the kombucha love to your friends and family who want to make them, because they grow and multiply. It's weird, but it's cool.
It keeps growing. Yeah, it'll grow to the size of your containers, so you can fill a whole pool full of kombucha.
A swimming pool.
It'll grow.
That would be a really interesting thing.
Yeah.
Having a swimming pool of kombucha. A weirdly delicious pool. Okay, well, we thank you guys, and thank you so much, Daniel, for showing us all around. I love this process, and we're really grateful to have your product here at the pharmacy. We have the bottles in there now, but we'll have the draft there today. So you guys be sure to come by and check it out, and thank you again for all that you do and what you do for the community. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys soon. Hope you guys can come by and grab some kombucha.
Take care.
Bye.